Today on BRStv, we're going to show you how to install the new mini BRS reactor with some cool install tips. Hi, Ryan, host of BRStv, where each week we cover a new topic related to reefing. This week I'm going to swap out the larger BRS reactor on my tank with the new mini, which is probably sized a bit better for this tank and easier to manage. There are a few main differences between the mini and the larger 10-inch reactor. First, the mini is designed to run either carbon alone or a mix of GFO and carbon. While it might be possible, we don't suggest running GFO alone because the reactor is a bit too short to get it to tumble properly. While the larger reactor can be used with different volumes of GFO and carbon by sliding the foam disc up and down, with the mini we suggest packing the small cartridge full, which will prevent issues from the carbon and/or GFO tumbling and creating unnecessary fines. This means you can add around 3/4 of a cup carbon to the reactor, mix 1/2 cup carbon and 1/4 cup of GFO. You need a tool like a screwdriver to pop the top off, add your media, replace the foam top and both plastic lids, and you're ready to go. There are two ways to go about installing the small reactor, which is probably heavily dependent on your spatial constraints. First one is to cut all the tubing very short so the pump basically hangs right off the intake, and then place the valve right on the output. This produces a small, compact reactor which can be set down just about anywhere in the sump. When it comes time to replace the media, you can just close the valve and flip the pump up to stop the water from spilling. Then take the whole thing to the sink, which is probably the cleanest and easiest way I've ever changed media in any reactor. As to the flow rate, you can adjust it down if you like, but since this is a closed loop where the carbon and GFO have many passes to capture the contaminants, the exact flow rate isn't a major concern. The flow rate will slow down and the contact time does increase as the cartridge gets clogged with tank debris, which makes it kind of self-regulating. If you don't have room in your sump, you can mount the reactor on the wall or inside your cabinet and use the longer tubes to submerge the pump and the reactor's output. We do have a couple quick tips on silencing your reactor. Coupled with a Cobalt MJ, these things run dead silent, but you can get some noise from the pump vibrating against the reactor or something else in the tank like the side of the sump, or from vibration transfer to the tubes and something they touch. The easiest solution I've found is these OXO food-grade silicone mats. Just cut a piece of it and place it between the pump and whatever it's vibrating against. Even better, just wrap it around the pump and zip tie it in place. For a more flexible install and zero noise transfer, you can pick up some 1/2-inch ID silicone tubing as well as these 1/2-inch Murloc stem adapters. I've been using silicone pretty much anywhere I can these days because it's super easy to install and dead silent. If you have any questions about this reactor or comments for other reefers, check out the comments area down below. If you haven't already, subscribe because we release 2 new reefing videos every week. See you next week with another episode of BRStv.